Everyone thought her scars were ugly, until the Admiral recognized them and couldn't breathe. For a moment, the entire mess hall fell into a silence so heavy, even the air seemed to wait for what would come next. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. The Navy mess hall at Fort Ridge was loud that afternoon. Laughter echoed against steel walls, boots thudded on the floor, and the smell of coffee mixed with engine oil. Amid the noise, a young woman in a faded Marine jacket walked in quietly. Her name was Elena Ward, a civilian nurse recently assigned to the base hospital. Her posture was humble, but the deep scars running along her neck and collarbone drew the kind of attention she never wanted. 3 Marines sitting near the counter noticed her first. They smirked, nudging each other like boys with something cruel to prove. "Hey, sweetheart," one said, loud enough for the room to hear. "You lose a fight with a blender." Laughter erupted. She froze, gripping her tray tighter. The coffee in her cup rippled from her trembling hand. Or maybe she wanted to look tough. Another added, trying to get battle cred with fake scars. Her jaw clenched, but she said nothing. Elena had learned long ago that silence was sometimes safer than pride. Still, every word pierced deeper than she wanted to admit. Across the room, a few officers watched, uneasy but unwilling to intervene. That was the cruelest part, the way people averted their eyes, pretending not to see. Then the door opened. A tall man in a white uniform stepped in, the sunlight outlining the medals on his chest. Admiral James Harlow. The Marines straightened instantly, whispering under their breath. The Admiral was a living legend, decorated for valor, known for his impossible calm under fire. He was halfway to the counter when he noticed Elena. His steps faltered. The entire room seemed to pause as he looked at her scars. Really looked, and then, to everyone's astonishment, the Admiral's face changed. The iron expression softened into something like grief. "Lieutenant Ward," he whispered. A pin could have dropped. The laughter stopped. The Marines stared, confused. Elena blinked. Startled, "Sir, I'm not a lieutenant anymore." But he wasn't listening. The Admiral stepped closer, his voice trembling. "You were with the Crescent convoy, weren't you? The one that burned off the coast." Her eyes glistened. "Yes, sir. I was the only one who made it out." The Admiral drew a slow breath, his hand tightening on the edge of the table. Around them, every soldier in the hall felt the weight of something they didn't understand. "She pulled 6 men from that inferno," he said, voice breaking through the silence. "She kept them alive until rescue arrived, while her own uniform was on fire." A stunned murmur rippled through the crowd. The Marines who mocked her went pale. One of them opened his mouth to speak, but no words came. Elena's fingers trembled as she set down her tray. "It wasn't just me, sir. We all tried." The Admiral shook his head slowly. "You were the reason any of them made it home." He turned to the room. "You think scars are shame. Those are the marks of honor. The kind that don't fade, even when the world forgets." No one dared move. The shame in the air was thick enough to taste. One of the Marines finally stepped forward, his voice cracking. "Ma'am, I'm sorry." Elena met his eyes. There was no pride in her expression, only quiet grace. "Just don't forget what kindness looks like," she said softly. "It's rarely beautiful, but it saves lives." The Admiral saluted her, and this time every soul in that room followed. Because true courage doesn't need to shout, it just leaves scars the world eventually learns to respect. And sometimes the quietest heroes wear their pain like light. If this story moved you, make sure to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one.